All right, what's going on with you, fam? The family is in the house. Hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to go ahead and do personal year number two. I did personal year number one, then I jumped to seven, and we're gonna go ahead and go back down and do number two. Um, so next I may do five or something. It just depends on how I feel. So if you don't know how to get your personal year number, what you do is you take your month that you were born and the day you were born. You take those numbers and you reduce them to one number. So, and normally we would not reduce the number, master number 11, but when you're doing your personal year number, you do reduce it to a two. You do the one and one plus two. So I have a sister, her birthday is 9/17. So 9/17 equals up to what? 9 plus 1 equals up to 17, and 1 and 7 is 8. So you take the year, you take the day that you were born, the month that you were born, and you add it to the present year. And this is really simple math. I don't want anyone to get confused on it. So her birthday is 9/17. 9/17 comes to a number 8. And then you take the 8 and you put it up to this current year, 2019, which comes up to a 3, which is an 11. But you're going to take the 1 plus 1 and make it a 2. So my sister, her year, she's in a personal year number 2. And in the personal year number 2, this is a year where this is going to be a year of steady growth, a year of slow growth, and which is a good thing because you have to understand that last year, if you're in your personal year number 2 this year, last year was your year of planting seeds and things of that new beginnings. This year, you're going to want to protect the seeds that you planted from last year. You're going to actually want to protect them very carefully with the things that you had, with the seeds that you had last year. You want to make sure that you are being very tactful because this year is a year that you can have some confrontations. Because remember, every number is ruled by a planetary alignment as well. So we talk about number 1 being the sun, and number 2 is ruled by the moon, and the moon is a very emotional. So things in your personal year number 2, you're going to be extra sensitive to remarks that people say to you, even suggestions that people say to you. One thing about the person in year number 2, when confrontations come up, you have to be very tactful this year. This is a year where you want to, instead of forcing your way into something, you may want to ask a favor. You want to ask for the favor this year instead of forcing your own will on something, because it won't work out for you that good if you were to do that. Now, another thing about the year number 2 is you have to have understanding about your drive that you had from last year, because personal year number 1 gives you the energy is strong, it's new beginning, you're planting seeds, you're doing the work. This year in personal year number 2, you don't feel that same drive. You're not going to have the same drive that you had last year. You want to make sure that you stay away from depression, and you have to adjust to the things that's happening in this personal year, because like I said, this is a year where you're extra sensitive, extra emotional. So you want to make sure that you're responding, that you're being tactful in your things that you say to people. You want to make sure that you want to go around any kind of confrontations. You want to lose the battles with any kind of confrontation. You don't have time for it because you're over emotional this year. You're extra sensitive, like I said. You want to also make sure that because this year is also marked by struggle. It's got a little bit of struggle into this year, but it's a good struggle because what it is doing is you're going to be. It's a slow growth this year. So the struggle nothing really comes easy when you're planning. So when you planted something the year before, and this year you're cultivating and your seeds are germinating from last year, you want to make sure that you putting in the work. A farmer has to put in the work to see the desired results of his produce, and you want to do the same thing. Since you're emotional and over emotional this year, you want to make sure that you keep um, your plans to yourself. Things that's going on with you, you don't want to tell everybody because you're extra vulnerable this year as well. Yeah, you're extra vulnerable, so you don't want to tell anybody what's going on with your life and things like that. You know, yeah, personal year number two, you want to make sure that when you're talking about health, if we're in your health this year, you know, you want to make sure you guard against your stomach because two, the numbers are all symbols, and number two is looks like an intestines. It looks like your large intestines when you look at your body, and it's shaped like that. So you want to make sure your stomach, you can have a lot of stomach problems in this person of year number two. You have to be careful with eating out. You have to be careful against food poisoning when you go out to eat. You want to make sure that you, at the beginning of the year, and when everybody is trying to lose weight, and you coming into your personal year, at the beginning of the year, you want to actually not focus on necessarily gaining and losing weight, but you want to make sure that you're eating the proper foods, because your body will naturally get to the right weight when you eat the proper foods. So you want to make sure, because you want to guard against, because in this year you can actually get like tumors and ulcers, things of that nature can come in from this year. It brings on things like that in this year. Now, when we're talking about career, normally in the personal year number two, you may be at the same job that you were last year, which is nothing wrong with that. Now, what happens in personal year number two as far as career, you normally have internal changes, things that start at your job. You're not necessarily external changes, but things that's going on internally. Like they may move your office to a different floor, or they move you to another building, or you may want to transfer to another sister store of the company, which is also a possibility to do that. Now, when you're looking at career as well, you may get a different job title this year. It may be something that you're already doing, but they just may put additional responsibilities on you. Now, if you do decide to go look for a job this year, you want to make sure you want to set the interviews up for either Monday or Friday. That's when you want to set the interview up for either Monday or Friday if you're going to do an interview. A good times for you to do that and ask for a promotion would also be like in the months of March, April, June, August, and December. Those when you can ask for a promotion or a raise or a transfer, or even if you're trying to get a job, Mondays and Fridays, not Monday through Friday, either Monday or Friday is the days you want to set up an appointment for an interview. And like I said, the months of March, April, June, August, and December is going to be the times for job change. Now, also, you can look at this when we come to the part about the person in year number two. When you want to talk about travel this year is not going to be a lot of big major trips. It's going to be, it's a good time. It's a good year to have good short trips, just for a few days. And if you can go by some water, a body of water, that would be good. So when you're traveling in this personal year number 2, going by water would be nice. It's possible that your geographical settings can change in this year too by the end of the year, because number 2 it has some changes into it. Even relationships change in the personal year. Relationships in this personal year that changes in this personal year number 2. Relationships are more like a lot of long-lasting friendships are grounded into this year. Relationships with the opposite sex happen in this year. A lot of people find their soulmates in this personal year number 2. So it is a very important year. It's good to know what year you're in, what personal year number you are in. So I just wanted to drop this information. This is a year of growth. This is a year for advancement, but it has to be mixed with patience, compromise, softness, gentleness. You don't want to get in any kind of back and forth with anything. It's really going to be a good year for you learning how to be patient. Even if you're a reader, if you're not a reader, this is a good year to become an avid reader. You actually have the energy to read more this year, do more research this year. And the books that you want to read self-help books. You want to see how you're doing as a person on the self-help level. Research. If you're doing any research, you want to do research that's going to help you advance in the future. Things that's going to help you advance in the future. That's the kind of research that you want to do. All right. So I hope if this is your personal year number 2, just do the math and see. And this actually, a lot of people are in this year. I'm going to do personal year number 5 next maybe. But I just wanted to drop this information to you all. I hope it's helping someone with this, because, you have to, one more thing that I wanted to say about the personal year number 2, and I don't know if I said this already, but you don't want to tell everyone what you're doing this year because of how vulnerable you are, how open you are, how emotionally and vulnerable you are. You don't want to tell everyone again. I think I did say that already, but if so, I'm just saying it again. Maybe that's just something for somebody to hear that you wanted to do. But I hope everybody got any information that you made, any questions that you may have. Just hit me up on the inbox and check me out on my YouTube page, Ramel Expansions. And we're going to be listening up for personal year number 5. I think I'm going to do number 5 yet. So, like personal year number 5, like my partner, he just had a birthday, 7/22. So 7/22 equals up to an 11, which is a 2. And this year is a number 3. 2019 is year number 3. So that'll be number 5 for that person. So we'll see how it goes. I may switch up and do a different year. It just depends on how I feel. But personal year number 2 people, you want to be tactful in the way that you speak to people. If you're going to do any traveling this year, you want to do it in the months of March, July, August, and December. And it's only going to be short trips. Make sure that one last thing is really, I just want to make sure I'm covering everything. If you're a woman and this is your personal year number 2, you could have female problems when it comes to health. So just, what you're eating, and like I said, problems with the health may happen in February, April, July, December. No, not December, but November. So just watch out for that. But we're going to catch up later, family. Peace.